I went on a target and we killed the dad, and he was a monster, right? And the interesting thing when you kill these monsters is nobody really protests. The wives don't cry, the kids don't cry. So one, I think there's a level of just recognition that these are this is the world. What's the word I'm looking for when you just think it's kind of a foregone conclusion? I think they just recognize, again, life and death. It's not so far away for people in the Arab world. You know what I mean? They still have 8 kids to make five. You know what I mean? And they're slaughtering their own goats. So like life and death has a different closeness than it is to us. So I think that's part of it. Part of it also is these men were monsters. They were abusive. They were abusive husbands. They were abusive fathers. You know what I mean? So it's like when they were gone, a lot of the kids and wives weren't going to miss them. And then I also think there was just this level of pragmatism that they know dad's an insurgent, dad's a terrorist, dad's working with ISIS, my husband's working with Al Qaeda. Like when he gets killed, are you surprised? It's kind of like people in the mob. You know what I mean? Like when the mob boss gets knocked off, should wife be surprised? You know? So when you when you would kill these guys, nobody would protest. No one would cry. And the couple of targets when somebody would make us all be like, wait a minute, someone cares about this guy? Do we got the right guy? Because it was very, very rare. They just understood, like, Americans are going to come and they're going to kill them. They're going to kill all these men that are involved in this terror organization. Like it just is what it is. Um, so wait, I went into Iraq and it killed this guy, and his son was there. And I remember his son was hiding behind. See how your drapes are? His son was hiding behind the drapes, and we saw his feet. Kind of like when a kid plays hide and seek, you know. And we were clearing the house, and the dad and a couple other terrible humans we had killed, and we were going through the rest to figure out who was who, and all the women were separated, and there was the kid hiding behind a curtain just like that. And we pull him out and we talk to him, and he was like relieved that this nightmare that he was living. He was afraid every night that the Americans would come and they would land on his roof and take his dad. You know what I mean? And again, I might have missed it in translation, but it wasn't that he missed his dad. He just was tired of living in this nightmare, knowing what his dad did. There was a time when I remembered this kid's name. I don't remember it now. The dad and the kid, and I thought, okay, we ate with that family, we ate with a kid, we talked, and we left, and he was smiling, and I thought, okay, he was maybe 12 to 14, probably, yeah, probably closer to 14, and I'm thinking, okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the next generation. They're going to see we're not bad people. They're going to recognize and understand and see that we're giving them an opportunity to create a new Iraq, and to be on the world stage and in a position that I believe they deserve, you know. Um, and 3 years later, I was on a target and we killed that kid. He had joined the insurgency and he was with Al Qaeda and ISIS. And it was then that I realized we ain't gonna win. Like my
Wow.
optimism that we're showing the next generation of who they can be and what they can be was was wiped out. And I don't remember what year that was, but it was that event where I was like, we ain't winning because we're doing our damnedest to cut the cancer out, but nobody's doing anything else. Where's the rest of the world to come in and reinforce and rebuild Iraq? Who who came in to invest in Iraq? Iran, and we let it happen. China. We we owned the infrastructure. We controlled the infrastructure. We controlled the oil. We controlled the phone lines. We controlled the power grids, and we handed all of that over to Iran and China and Russia and the old Cold War opponents. And even before that, none of us came in with that reinforcement of that narrative of this is a new day, this is a new dawn, Iraq. Let's be something and do something. Instead, the narrative was let's look back to 1200 years ago when we had a Muslim caliphate, and let's recreate this Muslim caliphate that controls, you know, millions of square miles of the Mediterranean and Middle East. So they didn't look back to the golden years of what we would expect of the golden years of, because even in the caliphate, it wasn't like history and science and art and music was thriving. That was an oppressive time frame, you know. Um, so yeah, we missed our opportunity. We missed our opportunity in Iraq. The world missed its opportunity, and it was the same with Afghanistan. We missed our opportunity. Man, I was a surgeon every night, multiple times a night, multiple times a day, cutting cancers out, and nobody was backfilling, teaching them how to eat right and how not to smoke and how not to drink and giving them the chemotherapy. You know what I mean? It was such a hugely missed opportunity for the world, and it's disappointing.
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the interview. As you could probably tell, this is a brand new channel. So if you got anything out of this at all, please like the video, leave me a comment, tell me what you thought, tell me who you'd like to see on the show. I see every like, I read every comment, and I appreciate all of it, especially in the beginning, because as you know, that kind of support goes a long way on these platforms. So most importantly, I have some awesome guests coming up in the future for interviews. So please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of them. But again, thank you for your time. Appreciate the support and hope to see you again soon.